All of my videos, whether it's bullshit or gold or anything else, but these are primarily self-improvement videos. Some that people are, I imagine, looking around for, and it's very valuable shit. This is because knowledge is power. But, here comes the kickers, you know? Often enough, being selfish is better than being humble or kind. Yep. Kindness has a pretty high rejection rate, and humble just will make you disappear. I don't even know what that means, being humble. What? Must be made out of, invisible people. Ah, yes, hiding your narcissism. So basically, humble is not being narcissistic? Is that it? Another thing, selfish is not greed. D, okay? Two different things in this case. Once you cross the line and become greedy, yeah, then it's bad. Meaning that selfish is actually a very normal behavior. It's a very normal mindset. And it's something everyone does naturally. They type in a nasty comment being selfish, but the moment they start ranting in the comments, they might get greedy. They might want too much of my time. Let's say I see a big chungus comment. You know, read my book, says dude in the comments. You know, writes a book for me. It's like, oh, it's just for me. I feel so special now. Usually people who put in a lot of efforts, yeah, they're very sensitive to failure because they're kind, you know? They want to keep on being kind in case there's a chance to be trampled. Most people just want drama. Most people just want to fail and cry about it. I don't like failing. Failing is a waste of time. If you're selfish, you wouldn't go chase after women because you're not getting any results. In low levels, you're not getting any results. You're actually being laughed at all the fucking time for just existing. Because they don't know who you are. They don't see you accumulate knowledge, most importantly, unless you start flexing things. But, like, how do you do that? You can hardly flex knowledge. You cannot go into your garage and say, here in my garage I have a bunch of books and Lamborghini. And it's all because of knowledge. Nope. That's not true. It's because a dude is always gonna try to slap their face on a commercial trying to break the system, basically, and build reputation. This has nothing to do with knowledge. It's just funny that knowledge is next to this guy because this has nothing to do with knowledge. It's just funny that he said it and we put it right next to him. It's so funny to look at. These things have nothing in common. Scam is not about knowledge. It's just about trying things until something breaks. And then you try to break more things. And then more things break. And it's like, wow, I'm so powerful right now. Jumping through loopholes like a fucking Mario little boy. If you are to learn knowledge, you will actually find yourself, you will find saying or rejecting more things when you're smart. Just like, you can put a word knowledge next to someone like that. That fits. Why does it fit? You don't know. You don't know why it fits. But it's just like a person who's doing absolutely nothing can still be better than an average person because they are doing nothing wrong. That's what's going on here. And they can just learn things and be ready to do good things when needed. You know, you need to talk to them. They probably can do a good conversation. They can be friendly and all that shit. They're probably ready to do that. It's one of those trips you would actually want to go to. Find some monks to talk to. Simple as that. See what level you are in comparison. Pretty fun, right? And that's knowledge. That's knowledge. By buying a Lamborghini, you might be destroying things. By buying a lot of books, you might be destroying things. Your capacity to walk to a certain place might be slowly eroding. You know, if you just flex to the culture of like, we all have to have cars, then things might not be as convenient as you have thought. Because now America looks like a car haven where everyone has to have a car. And that's a whoopsie. That's not something where I want to live at all. I only have legs, bro. I don't have driver's license. I don't want one. I don't want your stupid thing in your garage. You know, like, this is where selfishness kicks in, and it's like, it's a lot of effort. I'm too lazy to get all these things. Can we just walk the distance to, you know, the nearest shop so I don't have to fucking die inside? Now, a new thing got invented, thankfully. You can buy it. You can buy scooters. You can buy ways of navigation that sort of bends the rules of just you have to have a car. Same goes with books, unfortunately. If you read too many books and you think that this is all your work, that's all you have to do, like, you're the dumbest person ever. The books are not going to actually teach you anything, because books are not even going to tell you what to do in a particular moment. It's not going to even tell you what you're doing wrong. They're not even going to test you, you know, if you answered this and that incorrectly, you should probably consider this, you know. The books are just there for someone to tell their story and express their emotions and express their opinions. Book has nothing to do with knowledge, bro. You can refine a book into knowledge if you work hard enough. If you just take a couple of books, find the best book. Yeah, like, let's take a bookshelf, right? What do you do with the bookshelf? You scan for the best books. Pick 3 books. Then you scan for knowledge in those books. Something that seems smart. An idea that seems smart. Pick that idea out and expand on it. And see how, you know, solid that idea is. Could you make a better one? A better idea than has been given to you? With better context. Who knows? That's the work you need to do. You need to find the best books that suit you the most. It's the first step. The book just cannot just jump into your fucking lap and all of a sudden eat your life away. That's not supposed to happen. So where does selfishness come into play to this? Self-improvement is selfishness. First of all, selfishness comes into play and tells you to subscribe and do all the good things for me first. You know, whoever you're listening to, you got to be selfish for someone else. You have to listen to your authorities first. Then you get your selfish time and you have to use it as efficiently as possible. All right? So, selfish means you have time for yourself. At some point you'll have time. That's crazy, I know. And you'll have to use it efficiently. That's what it means. Selfishing. You are on your own. You have your own time. You can catch your own fish now. Whatever that might be, whatever valuable shit you can do with your time, congratulations, you earned it. If you haven't earned it, then there's probably a good reason for it that you haven't earned it. If you are sinking into shit and a lot of troubles, there's probably a good reason for it, you know? It might actually fade out. The problems might go away, just like the apocalypse that's happening right now. It's gonna go away, I swear. I swear it has to go away, you know? Like, something has to change, and that change will make things go away. This is what we have to pray for. That humanity will just continue moving forward, because I'm ready to move forward. I don't want to be sinking into bullshit all the time, but I am willing to talk about it, you know, as I'm sinking in other people's bullshit. Not mine. It ain't mine. It's also barely my responsibility if there's no values attached to anything. I can feel values, technically, when I'm meeting a new person and dealing with their problems. I guess there is value. It's unusual experience. But that sort of shit, you know, can be conjured up to some extent. I can get into trouble myself. Anyways, there's one interesting thing. I must not lose my cool. And every person has their own thing that they have to do to remain stable, remain empowered. The only way you're gonna find what you need is by being selfish, by grabbing all the things until you figure out what you need in life to be able to be stable, to be able not to be satisfied, not to impress other people, not to be bigger and better every single time. That's knowledge for me. That's what I have to do, just keep on pumping that knowledge. What I have to actually do is a fourth thing. There's always that fourth thing that you might forget. You must not lose your cool. And in fact, it's just going to be like the biggest insight of all time. If you're a smart person, you don't want to lose your cool. If you're a cool person, you don't want to lose your emotions. If you're an emotional person, you don't want to lose your self-esteem. If you're a self-esteemed narcissist, you don't want to lose knowledge. Knowledge! Just in case, you know, you gotta have that bookshelf, just in case you will be interested in knowledge, guys. So, I guess we have to dive into my personal thoughts of losing cool. But again, I can't help every single person. And there's limited amount of time. Crazy, I know. But you have to support me. If you think I am your authority, you have to support me as best as you can, because I support others. I take their time and make use of it. Alright, so you watching my video, I'm making use of your time. It's crazy, I know. So to not lose my cool, if I have knowledge, if I'm spreading my knowledge, I don't want to be distracted and starting to focus on some kind of troll, you know, that I have to eradicate. Yeah, if they're really bad, I fucking shoot down them with laser and they disappear forever. But to not lose your cool, even when you're being, you know, let's see, booed on by a handful of people. Let's just imagine I'm in a church setting, on stage setting, and just some people don't fucking like me. They think what I say is not good enough or whatever. This is kind of interesting because this sort of setting happens in the stand-up comedy. But that's the usual of what would happen if you actually don't lose your cool and don't just attempt to make audience laugh, you know, of like, oh, haha, so funny, guys. You can potentially, you know, enter the next level of stage of just like truly empowering people. Of remaining cool, of like, if you fail, it's just gonna be funny joke. If you don't fail, because the audience has to interact with you, you know, like, they have to throw their problems, and you might fail to solve the problem, then you can always turn it into a joke. This is the sort of, like, flexibility that you need to have to be able to use knowledge to get out of uncomfortable situations, right? So, to not lose cool, means to avoid awkward. Let's call it sinks because, like, fucking hell, bro. Now that is the one. Absolutely. That's the one. My brain is telling me to type in image sometimes because that's what I do all the time. And even that's awkward because there's only one type of image that I look at, and it's not bookshelves. I'll tell you that much. Is the gender that I don't have image, you know, just to remember that there's other types of people existing. This is not a joke, unfortunately. And this doesn't have to be a joke, but let's, to not lose school means avoiding awkward sinks. Because you can keep on sinking and sinking and you never get out, you know, where the apology turns into even more awkwardness. And it's like, well, what about this thing? Apology has to almost like be perfect, right? And just straightforward as well. Everyone should know how to apologize, what that means. Everyone should be able to sit down and just like prep apology. It's not that hard. And adding additional weight to the audience, because a lot of people are going to see it, just for the curiosity of like, how did you do it? Just for the curiosity, like you must not fail. If you are aware of things, like you would know how to do this and not make fun of the audience. Because, you know, like we're going to make it serious. You can't just turn it into a joke. You can, if there's nothing wrong, you know, with what you did. If it is a joke, son, it's weird. But that's another stand-up moment. You have to stand up for yourself. Apology is a stand-up moment. The joke is appropriate if you can land one. Let's see, a dog attacks you, you know, it's like, oh, I guess I'm getting my, what I deserve. For doing bad things, man. The universe is punishing me. Ha ha ha. There is more. Let's talk about court and why you should be silent. Why be silent in court? There's a very simple reason for. Why did I make this jump, by the way? What the fuck happened, right? Well, if you're selfish, sometimes you're gonna do the crime even by accident, and selfish people must intend to not be guilty about it. You know, not guilty means you will repay for the damages. You're not gonna escape the problems, you know? It's still gonna sit you still have emotions and all that shit about it. But the first position in the chessboard is you're not guilty and you're not defeated either. Whether you're a fucking 5-year-old, 50-year-old, the chessboard starts the same position. You know, you're undefeated. You can even just like, well, technically that's what it is. If you want to win, you have to bore your opponent. Because you don't know what you're playing against. You don't know how skillful they are. You have to bore your opponent to not play chess with you. To not pretend that this guilty, you know, court thing that we just established is relevant. That we're solving some kind of problem by throwing guilt around in the room. If we find someone who wants to suck in all the guilt and starts yapping around of like what their take is, they become a witness, they become, you know, a finger pointer. Absolutely, bro. What you have to do, even in court situation, even against the judge, almost, if you don't trust the judge, in a way, if you don't trust nobody, and you shouldn't, to know this one thing and be selfish, like everything you have is valuable. Like if you know this, it's all of a sudden a different sort of story. Everything you have is valuable. So even like knowledge about specific events, like you have the knowledge, but you have to fucking play around it. You have to not give nobody the knowledge. Don't let nobody solve the case. You want to solve the case with them, not let them do the whole thing. You want to take some responsibility for it. You have knowledge. You can help them, you know. But you don't know who to trust. You don't know if you like them or not. You don't know where things are going. So you shouldn't just like yap at the nearest person. It actually makes you guilty that way. If you tell them too much information, they're a fucking stranger. It doesn't matter if it's a policeman. It doesn't matter if you're being interrogated. Another person is just a person just working there. It's a fucking stranger still with a suit of all things. So they're hoping that you're going to be intimidated and all that shit. They're hoping with it. That shouldn't buy the knowledge that you have for free. Like, everyone's supposed to be respectful of each other. You know, if you make a swear word, throw a swear word at police, then all of a sudden you might have to reel out some of the information to relay the apology. That, well, I guess I shouldn't be disrespectful to the police. Now, still a question, are you being disrespectful? You can still discuss everything. You should be upset about everything. And yeah, police also is equipped with a lot of fucking shit, and you have to counter-equip yourself with bleeding knowledge, the cameras, the resistance of like, I don't want to do it. Until force is being used, then you have to be submissive, technically. At least that's what I think. I don't know. Can you do better? Because it is intimidating to go against the government. But this is one of those things. Everything you have is valuable. Everything. Absolutely everything. Unless it starts getting in your way and starts bothering you, then it's not valuable. It's actually going the opposite way. Funny enough. Like, the outside world is starting to bother me. So I don't know what to do with it. I can't wait to throw it away. You know, this outside world. What the fuck is that? At least locally. I don't want to just pile all the local shit and throw it in the trash now. It's about time. And yet again, I don't know who to trust. I don't know which people deserve not to be thrown out. I'm just saying everyone's guilty until proven innocent, and that's a pretty good fucking way to go. I'll tell you, this is a fun thing. Everyone is guilty until proven innocent. So if you start yapping, you're gonna remain guilty. You're gonna remain a person that just throws valuables and hoping that, oh, I will not be guilty anymore. Excuse me? Yeah, we're gonna use your valuables against you. That's what police tell you. Everything you say will be used against you. Because it's fucking valuable. Thank you for giving us the valuable things. You know. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Even letting people in is a pretty nasty thing. You know, they have to introduce themselves. They have to say what they want to do, what their intentions are, all that shit, what they want from you. Like, even that is seemingly a mistake to just let people in uninvited, no matter who they are. Another funny thing, unfortunately. It is, you must understand, it's hard to juggle all those principles and not break a single one. You're gonna break one of them, but the other one's gonna fucking save your ass. Alright? And this is serious. We're talking now about serious applications of just like, you're being guilty now. People want shit from you. They want to extract your shit. Because they don't like you no more. You did something, and your reputation's on the line, and you don't know how much you have to give to be able to escape the ass. So first you have to, you know, put down the valuables on your side of the board and start negotiating of like, because in the end of the court, only then can you just like, oh, Oh, I will tell you this, and that. If you give me this, and that. This is kind of like snitching level conversation. Although, okay, if we can make a deal on this. All right, you give me this, and I give you that. It's just how it goes, bro. Because another thing, the court has to find things valuable. So they have to find the case valuable enough to put it into existence, put it on the board in the first place. But that's besides the point. That's too deep. I'm just simulating this whole interaction of like even just saying, just witnessing things is valuable, and you don't know which side you're on. You don't know what the fuck you witnessed actually. You know, it's it's not the time to piece together a story as if you know what happens and how people are gonna react to your words. You must. It's best to just sit in that position. Now I don't know what happens when you do that, so I ain't gonna tell you what the future holds. I just have a feeling that people don't deserve nothing you have until they put down a good deal for you. Because a good deal is like understanding other people's intentions. What are they trying to achieve in life? Because everyone has goals, and you can just accidentally expose corruption. Just bump into something, boom, corruption has been found. And corruption is something that a lot of people, a superhero shows up out of nowhere and just kicks corruption in the balls. You don't understand how valuable that is to just accidentally find wrongful intentions within the government, the authorities, bro. I personally am in a position where I am nobody's friend. So I'm naturally in a position to be selfish. There's nothing you can say to me where I'm just gonna give up value, where I'm gonna go somewhere and meet someone and do something with them. Even that's not gonna happen, bro. Ain't gonna happen. And women are not offering that shit. So I'm technically every woman's friend by default. As big of a simp as you can be. I'm your friend. All right, you're an interesting creature. You're on the other side of, the world, dealing with its own universe, and just like the women's universe is now rich and flourishing, and it has all the things, and it's like perfect and all that shit. And we don't belong there. At least me, I don't belong there. As a selfish person, every woman is my friend. That's what I say. Everyone, because they live in a fucking flourishing universe where they have crazy superpowers and they can go outside, which is fascinating. What is that? Going outside and touching grass? That sounds like an expensive thing to do. Not only that, they just go to parties, make families, and it has nothing to do with men at all. Just none of that shit is men oriented. Some I will see demeaning because my friends don't talk to me. Some bitch just found a dude, the nearest dude, and it's like, oh, I can do whatever I want now. It's just what happens. It's like, oh, it's my paycheck to a women's world of like, I will just squeeze the man dry and just create the world of fairies and sunshine and rainbows and all that shit. And that's the end. It's the end. I have completed the game of women. And then all of a sudden, corruption settles in immediately. Immediately, a crying baby is corruption alone. Oh, I can't stop the crying baby, no. What do I do? Welcome to the women's world again. One more time. And people will, yeah, you get a boyfriend, you make a family, people will still want to sleep with you. That's corruption. Then people will talk behind your back. That's corruption. You're getting old. That's corruption. You're rejecting a lot of people. That's corruption. All of a sudden, like, women living in a perfect world, But because they're not behaving perfectly, they will attract corruption very quickly. And I can't wait to know what they do with that shit. You know? Most of them just give up. That's the apocalypse. The apocalypse is not for men. Apocalypse is for women. For them women. For all of them. Every one of them. Alright? Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna kick out my fucking dad. He deserves to be kicked out. Because he's not useful. And I'm selfish. He's not useful to me. Unfortunately. He has to prove himself. He has one chance. But holy shit, he has to run fucking fast. If you're thinking that being selfish is bad, then what about a selfish person who flexes otherwise? You know, who shows that they're living a good life. Oh wait, that there's no other side of selfishness. Like, how the fuck do you do that? There's nothing you can do. You have to build your profile. You have to be yourself. And being childish is also selfish, you know? Being childish is also not a flaw. Who needs you to grow up? You know, like, people need you to not be needy. That's pretty good. But nobody should require you to grow up. People want you to not be needy. I mean, that you can respect. But besides that, you can be as childish as you want. That's the power of being an artist. That's what they're doing with their time. They're expanding their tool sets to be as childish as they want. Me learning programming, I get to make my own building blocks. I'm still playing with them pretty much. So you know what the most kind thing you can do? Most kind thing is not to give things, but to teach selfishness. Here you go. Selfishness. Because another person has to decide what they want in life and what to try and get in life, and they have to selfishly do it. And even then, you offer to teach them selfishness. You offer that to boost their selfishness, and that's a pretty good offer. And if they're selfish enough, they have to do whatever they can to get that offer through. In other words, a person has to be selfish to want more things. A homeless person can't just want food and a little bit of attention so they get more food later. Or whatever, they should make friends in the streets. Their selfishness is supposed to tell them they need to get out of this fucking mess and find a way out. Because other people have it. You know, whatever other people have more than you do, you should be selfish enough to constantly recognize. I constantly recognize that women have more than I do. Alright, that's crazy. How do we deal with that? How do we decode it first? What's going on? All these questions come up because that's how the universe works. Universe puts things into perspective. It doesn't just do this. It makes alternations. Things constantly change, so you learn every step of the way. The perspective changes. Everything changes constantly. Even though it's a pattern of change and things go back to normal. You know, when you have enough knowledge, it feels like that. When you don't, it feels like a roller coaster and you're going down and it's very scary. You know, what the fuck is going on? And this is why there's supposed to be a rush for knowledge. The most selfish thing you can do to equip yourself is, well, spend time with yourself. But what is the best way to spend time? You know, like, selfishness does not describe whether you're going to succeed or fail. Selfish people want more time. will you spend it properly, though? That's the question. Alright? Because eventually, it's gonna be greed of like, okay, you're 30, you want more time. You're 40, you want more time. You're 50, you want more time to do what exactly? Your priorities have to keep leveling up. Time for what? You're asking time for what? Every year, the way you spend your time is supposed to improve, which means also that you're not actually, the time does not fly by. And that's what also supposed to happen. Is the most painful thing is just to see time just slip through your fingers. You have no control. You just trust science to tell you that your second year is 50% of the importance. Third year is 33% of importance. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, okay? No, every year is more important because you have more tools, more knowledge, more ways to spend it, and better ways to spend it. Better priority list. I'm sorry, bro, but every year is supposed to be better and more valuable to you. Because you're supposed to be selfish and make it happen, you know? Make it happen that every year you are better. It's pretty obvious, like, it's self-improvement, everyone wants to do that. But sometimes they forget, you know? They don't motivate themselves enough, not selfish enough, to be better, to be a different version that's much better next year. They forget. Even I can be lazy sometimes, but holy shit, it's rare, actually. If you put it all together, I say lazy because I can't control myself. I want more. I'm this fucking selfish. Like, I say laziness is gold. Is gold. As a lie to myself. I want to not be lazy so much that I say I'm lazy all the time. I'm always lazy. Everyone else is lazy, but I don't know them. So I kind of like let it pass. You know, I'm like, okay. But when they start flexing their laziness, I'm sorry, bro. Like, we're not on the same level. You must understand. People can expose themselves this way. So a lot of people don't want to be lazy. But again, laziness is gold simply because you have to tell that to yourself, oh, I'm lazy. To motivate yourself not to be, not to give in to that. When you take gold, you must not just give in of like, I have gold. You can be robbed at any point. You collect too much gold, you can get robbed. You know, the coppers are always chasing. You collecting gold and the coppers are chasing, guys. I understand that not everyone's familiar, but holy shit. This is why we have Ghostbusters. This is why we eat food. And this is why you have to always be ready, bro. Because you have to collect all that gold. All of it to progress to the next level. Jesus Christ, man. All of it. I don't care who stands in your way, bro. Fortnite stands in your way? Get the fuck out of here. Jesus. Edible. Looks edible to me. It looks like it fits in my mouth. It's not the size of the Pac-Man. See, these ones fit in your mouth. These ones, nah, bro. You gotta go the other way. See? Learn knowledge. Here you go. Knowledge. I'm just saying, like, don't waste golds. You gotta be lazy, man. But apparently only in your minds. You can't quite be lazy when the selfish kicks in and tells you to do a lot of things. When everything just turns into work. Because you can get more value. So what are the ways that we can cross over into greed? Because that's the shit that we try to avoid. First of all, again, don't lose sleep over it. Alright, you're not supposed to work yourself, overwork yourself. You can lose more than sleep, okay? You might not fucking notice, but like people gonna leave you behind. It's not just sleep. It's caring about just normal things. Again, you can lose food. You can sacrifice food because you're always gonna like refill yourself whenever you feel like it. You'll need energy at some point, but it doesn't matter when that point happens in your life. You can even fucking fast for a day. It's fine. You'll survive. You need water though. Alright, you need flavors. So you're not supposed to lose sleep. You're not supposed to lose happiness as well, because like, oh shit, I'm thirsty. Thirsty means it's just like going to the toilet. It's a happy time. Absolutely. It's a way to relieve yourself. But backwards. Instead of peeing, you put liquids into your mouth. It sounds gross when I say that way. But you can choose whatever flavor you want. It's time. It's time to put liquid in your mouth. It's a good human time. And you better be fucking ready to do that when that time happens. When I'm speaking a lot, that time happens very quickly, guys. You should talk more. Yeah, I wonder when that's gonna happen. Because you still need to be able to talk to someone. Or a microphone. I mean, I always will offer you to be selfish and establish yourself as a semi-YouTuber just for the opportunity's sake. You know, you don't know how big I am and how many opportunities I can fulfill. And who's that gonna be? So you gotta be ready. That's another selfish thing. Selfish people, or to be selfish, is to always be ready for best things to happen. Alright? Be ready. Not chase those things, but be ready. Just be able to accept it as reality. Of like the best of the best, the richest and the most famous actually like you back, and like the world starts melting apart and everything shifts. They like me back? Well, that's crazy. And everyone cares about you now. That can happen. Alright? That's a scenario that's possible. It should be possible in your brain so you can become ready to accept the gifts of the world. You know? You want to be selfish to be able to do that. To accept all kinds of gifts. Otherwise, it's just like, oh, I don't deserve it. Like, what the fuck? See, that's the other side of not being selfish, is not deserving many things in life. It's like, you're not supposed to care that much about other people because you don't feel them. They're not your friends. Like, it's still kind of weird to me. But other people are quite a distance away, unfortunately. This is why everyone keeps saying, like, don't worry about what other people think, because that's gonna ruin your life. They just say, be more selfish, in other words. You know? And you just don't feel other people. You don't feel their pain. They can tell their stories to you, which is good for them, not good for you to listen to their fucking stories. You gotta name a price. It's good for you if you get something out of it, but you don't know. You're not friends with them, so their stories might suck balls. Who knows, man? Their stories might trigger you of like, oh shit, you could have done this better and that better. You know, like, weird. I don't know where self-defense plays the role in this adventure of selfishness. I am just like extremely cautious of anything. I don't take risks. Risks are for losers, bro. But then it becomes very complicated, like where all the win-win situations how to be risk-free when you do certain things, what things you can be weird about because everything is a rule breaking if you're being weird. Yeah, just like that sort of stuff is very complicated. And how can you force yourself to have courage and do weird things? I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to. This is the scary thing for me. There's just some genuine things that I don't do, and I'm hoping that someone else is going to fill that void. Now, this is probably a very complicated topic, too. Let someone else do it? That's where things get very weird. You know, you're not supposed to let someone else do it. You're supposed to make them do it. That's the selfish way of doing things. Make them do it. Don't let them do it. Don't hope that they will do it, because that's fucking stupid. Make them do it. Ask. You know? Constantly ask. Please subscribe. You haven't subscribed yet. You haven't subscribed hard enough, guys. You haven't watched my videos hard enough. What is wrong with you, okay? You have to make someone else do it. Because they can scratch your back. I can't scratch my back. Alright, there's so many buttons there you can click to scratch my back. Most importantly, comment of how upset you are. That my back is greasy and sweaty and smelly and all that shit. Tell me all about it. You know, I can't test it myself. I don't get to observe my back. Alright? I can only claim that I'll be back. What does that mean? I'll become a back? My own back? That's fucking weird, man. I can only claim that because I saw it in the movie, so it must be true. Anyways, I want people to be selfish, but in order to be successfully selfish, you have to give the outside world something of value, and you have to be trusted. I cannot be trusted because I still haven't revealed my face. So the only thing I'm relying on is just knowledge. That you will use that knowledge and you'll be successful. You know, to be selfish is to also be incredibly optimistic about everything. Be selfish and be optimistic. Just like I've said, like good things will happen to you and you have to be ready. You just have to be ready. That's the magnet of like, oh, good things gonna happen. You have to also, you know, be able to accept it. Accept those good things of like, wow, just smile at people, be optimistic. When you can turn a bad thing into a good thing. Just like most people can turn a good thing into a bad thing. By accident. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know, I'm showing attention to a woman. What is she gonna do? Oh, what a rude joke. What a mentally ill person. She will spin it into some fucking evil thing because she's uncomfortable and she wants to keep on winning in the winning world of women where all the women are winning all the time. You know, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. This is where unhinged behavior happens. You know, women just unhinged. Completely insane women. They are. After they meet you for a little bit of an adventure and they break your heart, then it's just like an apology that has to be attempted, you know? Then they feel bad. See, like, the whole world of women is just so fragile. And they're gonna fucking face that shit. They will have to ask for forgiveness, almost. Depending on how much grudge you hold. Even bad things happening to you, you can be optimistic that you just have to save it and deliver it back whenever it's the most convenient. Save it, just like I said, in the case. You have information, you have been a witness to something important. You have to tell people the story so you remember it yourself and warn other people about it. Other people who have time, but nothing else, no other resources are available to them. They just have time. If you were rich, you would not have time. I'm sorry, like, what? You can spend it on all these quality things that are above average. So you're not interacting with the average human, you're just spending time while spending money. If you spend money, your time spent is also above average qualities, not normal anymore. It's something else. If you're spending money to enhance your time, but if you just bought a television, if you just messaging other people, you're on the baseline as everyone else, as all the poor people who don't want to and shouldn't ask each other to spend money. So that's the big question, right? Are women selfish? And that's what makes them fucking crazy and powerful at the same time. We don't. We think selfishness is bad, but we let women be unhinged, selfish people who eventually get any money and they spend it all on just improving their time in their world, not in our world. If they spent money in our world, I would get money for all the knowledge that I'm emitting into the world. I would get actually money and be listened to and be respected. They're spending time elsewhere. And I should be offended and I should fight for better situationship around here. Don't let women be selfish. You should be selfish too, you know. Then the war happens and women will always lose that shit. See, that's the funny thing. Women are winning simply because we refuse to fight. We don't have enough knowledge, or a fucking switch in our head has not been tuned to chase after what women have. And just the behavior of being selfish, absolutely fucking insane. My mom can just sit there on her ass and just tell me what the jobs are available constantly, as if I'm supposed to be guilt-tripped into taking one of these options. Like, for fuck's sake, you should have worked. You should be working right now. You should be testing all these options that you're throwing at me and would be able to take one of these options. And then I can help you out and I might get sucked into one of those jobs in a different format because I am my own person. You don't know. You know, you can only take care of yourself first. And that's the most key part, you know. When it comes to finding compatible items or choices, only you know what you need, what fits your worldview and everything. No one else is gonna fucking figure things out for you. It's too fucking complicated. You have to get yourself comfortable, basically, and work for yourself all the time. This is why the most annoying, kindness can be so fucking annoying. The only time people try to be kind, and it's annoying. Instead, they try, and it's so fucking stupid. They give gifts to each other, and now you just receive a gift, and it's like, oh, it's shit. I don't like it. You know, that's what happens. It is very difficult to give a gift to another person and succeed in the progress. Very difficult. Either you have to be extremely generic or extremely creative. You have to care a lot. All right, when it comes to, you have to maybe even negotiate of like, what do you need for a gift? You have to actually find courage within yourself to just approach the person and be like, fuck it. No one's gonna be mad if you know who's giving you that special Santa gift, right? Secret Santa. No one's gonna be fucking mad. Right? I'm your Secret Santa. What do you need? let's go shopping. You know, that would be the best gift. Just spending time with them, picking up a gift for them. You saving so much time that way instead of just being nervous and being upset that you don't know what the fuck to give to them. Just go to the shop with them, and bam, slam, you seal the deal. And I would love to do that right now, but I can't turn back time. Unfortunately, it fucking sucks, man. When you know when people like fucking speed run life and they leave you behind just because it just feels good to them to be not lazy, but fuck you, you better be lazy. You better be lazy because I'm selfish. And I want to be lazy too. Everyone should want to be lazy and still be accomplishing their life goals. Like that would be amazing. Because laziness is mostly a translation of not to worry. You're making just enough progress to fulfill your day's goals, and that's it. The rest of your time is just like bumping from one wall to another. Uh, that's your thing. It's my thing, bro. Because at some point, like you can't make no more progress, and you have to accept that. So yeah, being lazy is gold. I still confirm that. I still stand by it, bro. I love today's episode. It is very enlightening and helpful to me. And I don't give a fuck what it is to you because I'm selfish. I got all the value I wanted, basically. But I'm obligated to sit for an hour. So let's find out what's the last thing I'm supposed to say. Is it a fart? Do you want candy? You can't get any candy because it's for me. I earned it. You know. Urgh. We can trade that candy. You can work for me, and I will give you candy. It just is how it is. Like people own things, and it is what. Even unfortunate people, they still have hands and legs, and they can work. You know, never give in to someone. Just kindness is fucking stupid at this point. They have to work. That's it. This is just the most basic shit that everyone knows. Work, do chores. They get so much value. They get to fucking be more closer to a person who will potentially offer them even more and more things to do. And I just sit back and just like for $5 an hour you clean my room. Oh yeah, it feels good, bro. Wash my clothes. Clean the dishes. You just point fingers. As long as you have money, or other valuable things that they would want. Or sometimes you're going to be selfish and you need to improve your skills and do things so fast that you don't need no help. Fuck help. Because, again, being needy, being in a position where you need other people's help constantly, yes, it's selfish, but it gets pretty greedy when you just can't get it. I think that the thing is, like, greed is when you just can't get the thing anymore. And then you have to, in monopoly terms, flip a property. Flip it, disable it, basically, for half the value. And you'll have to buy it back later, but you flip you disable yourself when you are greedy. I agree. I want all the properties, and you just flip all the properties to just grab the next one, grab the next one, and you travel like this. Great, but how do you make profit if you flip all the properties in Monopoly? You have to leech other people. You got to be selfish. That's the game of Monopoly 2. To win the game, you have to leech other people's money. All right, you have to get them in trouble, where they have to pay you to build more houses and more trouble. Fascinating. To be greedy is to hurt other people in the process. To be selfish is to acknowledge that other people are also selfish and you're just wanting specific, particular things to help yourself be a better person. That's what it is. Selfish is just fixing your fucking life. A tiger is selfish because they allow themselves to be predators, eat other animals. But in order to eat other animals, they have to sacrifice the ability to eat fruits and grass. You know, that's the sacrifice. Every selfish person still has to sacrifice something by acknowledging that, you know, they are born different. They can't just sit on their ass. They're conserving energy for the next attack, potentially, whoever you are. Or for the next attack that's going to happen to you, not that you will do the attack. It might happen to you. It's weird, bro. Life is weird. But to be selfish is to be yourself. Funny enough. Now, I probably can type into YouTube and people will constantly try and tell you not to be selfish, but that's just a lie. You probably don't want to lie simply because autism works. What? Fuck off, autism. Get out of here. What happens when I type in selfish? Okay, music happens. This is pretty cool. Alright. I'll just keep scrolling until I find what I want. Stop being selfish! Okay, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. The first thing that pops up. You know, now know to take it as a compliment. Okay, advice. Let's take it one step forward. Why are we selfish and how to stop? Stop it! Oh my god. Oh. Okay. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, someone understands. Self-care. What about... Ask yourself, okay. Start being selfish. Let's go, fucking Peter Jorderson, bro. He knows. He knows. He has reputation. Fascinating stuff. Alright, now you know. Even YouTube actually agrees. I was fucking worried, man. Holy shit.